Today we're talking about fucking breakdown. Let's start back over.
Physiological system like liver, kidney doesn't work anymore on the medications I've been taking, like that. My compensatory mechanisms no longer fit the bill, fit the task, suit the task. They're no longer working. So, further definitions: failure of compensation, appearance or exacerbation of mental disorder due to failure of defense mechanisms. That's the key, is that defense mechanisms, coping mechanisms, don't work. Uh, Failing coping mechanisms. Coping mechanism failure in the face of major stress, leading to some kind of breakdown of some system, body and or mind. Failure of an organ to fulfill its function adequately. um, then it leads right into the term that people don't want to use, that is considered dated, and it's not used anymore, called nervous breakdown. From, again, medical dictionary, subset of free dictionary. Non-medical term for emotional or mental illness, euphemism for psychiatric disorder, nervous breakdown. That's not that it's a euphemism for a particular psychiatric disorder or a certain psychological or psychosomatic or body-mind psychophysical process. By neural damage, nervous system, by emotional distress, by triggering catharsis, by major life stress, how I had been living isn't possible, body mind system failure, breakdown of some sort, associated with, again, the failure of defense mechanisms or crutches to keep me propped up. So, non-specific popular name for any type of mental disorder that interferes with individuals' normal activities, implying severe episode of sudden onset, right? So, decompensation is triggered, has a triggering event, is commonly acute, but can go for a while. So, severe episode of mental, physical breakdown or system failure associated with acute conditions of stress or illness or injury or, witnessing an atrocity or reading the news or losing your job or 100 other things. Collapse in mental health, such as onset of severe mood disorder, precludes normal functioning, may require hospitalization, not in clinical use. A dated term encompasses anxiety, panic, depressive disorders, popular term for mentally overwhelmed by circumstance and accumulated acute stressors. That's actually a pretty good definition of nervous breakdown. A dated term, it's dated. We don't use it anymore, say they, the professionals who prefer modern, because we're always at the cutting edge of maximal progress and enlightenment, right?
I thought I was going to have one yesterday. Maybe not yesterday, but maybe. I was starting to think that way myself. Like I said, I watch this guy and he's always pretty synced up with whatever the fuck I've got going on. As you can see, this is only 5 hours ago.
So, a dated term, they say, this is from the free dictionary, medical dictionary page on nervous breakdown. Dated term that encompasses or involves, that is, refers to or describes a condition including anxiety, panic, and depressive disorders. Popular term for being mentally overwhelmed, mentally, emotionally overwhelmed by circumstance and accumulated acute stressors. That's what's going on. And this is, you can say that the current world process is decompensatory. It is a challenge to individual and collective means of coping and keeping the ball rolling adjustment, adaptation. So there's healthy adjustment, they say. There's adaptation to circumstance. The modes of, of adaptation and adjustment are failing, and then you have an individual and or a collective decompensating. It's collective ennui, collective disorder, individual, collective breakdown of means of maintaining order. Order can be physiological well-being or emotional mental well-being or social functioning. And so that's a major dynamic of the end times, the tribulation, the stressing, right? The eclipsis of this current time by the high pressuring and by what? So we're talking about many things. I got a couple of articles, interestingly, both from Australia, from abc.net.au, one of the blessed mainstream sources over there, down there, from July 2021, as well as just January, just a couple of weeks ago, 2023, from a young psychologist who is quite bought into the system, Hona Guha. The title, "The Pandemic Has Laid Bare the Fragility of the Western Psyche." Yeah. Cracks in our this is a woman's view. She's heavily bought into the narrative, but understands some things, I think, quite deeply as well. Pandemic, she writes, pandemic has exposed a number of cracks in our socio-political system. Pandemic has also bared a range of subtler cracks, weaknesses, and papered over fissures in the collective human psyche, Western psyche. And you know, Western Eastern is different too. There are not as many in here, Taiwan, people losing it and going into mental breakdown that I've seen. I don't know about really, but society is in the streets, in the marketplace, everybody's wearing a mask, even though it's not required. Okay, they feel safer that way, or they just look at each other and they're wearing, so they wear. Okay. I would imagine, or I could feel, or I believe I can sense in a subtle way, a sort of air of contraction, mental emotional contraction. It's rare. Exuberance is unmasked. Self-masking, like a self-muzzling, is a downer man, and it kind of de-exuberates. The exuberation is not favored by self-masking. So there's a sort of subdued air. Likewise, Thailand also, most people voluntarily mask in public. Okay. That is compensatory to their belief that they're in danger, but also compensatory to their presumption that they must go along to get along, and it's not good to do otherwise than the herd, the collective. Okay, we're talking a collectivist culture, shame-based, as we talked about yesterday in class. Shame-based collectivist culture versus guilt-based individualist culture. Cultural anthropologists know about that. Okay, so whether the society is collectivist or individualist, west, east, east, west, as rough descriptors, individuals and their societies, both types, have their compensatory mechanisms. Individuals have theirs, societies have theirs. Collectivist compensation, not monetary. Collective psychological, sociological compensations. Okay, individual have it, society has it, individualist cultures and individualists in individualist cultures, group followers, camp followers, virtue signalers, subordinates to authority in collectivist cultures. They have their compensatory mechanisms as well. So everybody got their own crutches. Societies have them, individuals have them. But this point she's making, that there's the range of subtler cracks bared or exposed, weaknesses and papered over fissures in collective Western human psyche, Eastern too. It's not the same exactly. It's a little more subtle than saying people are losing it. And it's not people are losing it. It's some people are having breakdowns of certain sorts. Some do, some don't. Some come and go, some last longer. It's not a good idea to generalize. This is not a Blu-ray abhors generalization. Wisdom, but the discernment is about precise conceptualization, recognizing subtle distinctions and differentiation.
Professional race car driver and an amateur tattoo artist. Just a good old boy. Get some back on now. I don't care. 105 miles an hour. You believe that? Dad. Hey, little boy. Man, you got to think. How long's it been? 3-4 months?
10 years.
10 years. Man, got to lay off the peyote. Solid wrong. This is egregious. You hear me? Egregious. We were showmates together, Andy. You got payback coming. Don't listen to these people, Ricky. You're a winner. You got the gift. Always remember, you ain't first, you're last. It's open. Bugalo's Pizza, we are pizza.
You are pizza?
Yeah, we are pizza. I gotta say it. I had to close the door and come in. I got weed in here, cowboy.
I'm Reese Bobby.
Me and your mama did it in a Rustler Steakhouse bathroom when I was 17. And then you showed up. Son, did this go good? No! Seems to me like it went pretty good. You're not my dad! It got a little heated, but... Stop talking to me! Hey, is that a Huffy? That's a nice-looking bike, boy. I saw what happened to you on the television. You saw the fear. I can help you with that, son. You people shut the hell up. I got a wife and an oxygen tent trying to sleep. You better shut up or I'll come over there and rip a hole in that tent.
Yeah, shut up, Frank. Go shave your balls, you dusty old fart.
Okay, I guess they are my grandkids. There ain't nothing more goddamn frightening than driving with a live cougar in the car. Where'd you get that thing? I trapped it. Been keeping it in my bathroom at the motel, feeding it old pizza. I'm embarrassed. I really thought I could feel it.
You know what? We better hightail it out of here, Frank.
How'd stock car racing get it started? Bootleggers through Prohibition. They had to have cars fast enough to outrun the fans, and they started racing each other. That's right. Come on, Frank. Why'd you throw another bucket on me? I filled up 3. Real simple, son. Cops are coming. There's a kilo of Colombian Bam Bam under the car. Time to be a man. You got hair on your peaches or what?
Feels good going fast, doesn't it? By the way, don't try and snort these Lucky Charms. Reese.
Okay. Now, most importantly, we thank you for bringing back our nasty, delinquent, pot-dealing daddy to us. For he was lost, but now he is found. Amen.
Amen.
I gotta tell you, this is about a damn perfect even right now.
It is, isn't it? And I would be delighted, Reese, if you would accompany me to ballroom dancing on Tuesday nights.
Tuesday night.
It's a lot of fun.
You know, I hate to be a pain, darling, but I asked for no onions on my bourbon steak. I'm
I am so sorry. I thought you asked for
Okay,
onions.
maybe don't interrupt me.
I'm a veteran.
Dad!
I'm diabetic.
Dad! Why are you doing this? Applebee's has rats! I found a whole rat in my Cobb salad. Things were going good, weren't they?
That's exactly why I had to blow it up. I don't know what organ or bone people have that makes them act right, but I was born without it. I'm no good.
Hey, Dad!
Guess I just forgot.
Where are you going?
Does it matter?
I only got my luck to sing. Valentine's Day.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, you got those 2 tickets for my special friend?
Yeah, sure. You know what, Ricky? You better lie here, buddy.
Right.
That's the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life, y'all. That boy leaves 2 tickets for his daddy at every race, and he never shows up.
That's a shame.
We have some tickets waiting for me. My name is Reese Bobby.
Mister, these tickets have been waiting for you for a long time.
Who needs 2? I got tickets. Tickets right here, $60 a pop.
Well, I'll be damned. Good for you, Ricky Bobby.
Hi, I'm his lady. I'm Susan. I painted the car. We had sex.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have been there for that.
Well, what do you say we get thrown out of Applebee's?
Yeah.
Huh? Does that sound like a good idea?
You read my mind, son.
You can come.
Everybody file in. Here we go.
Everyone gets thrown out.